Yo guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about NTE, which is launching later this month on the 29th. This game is kind of crazy in the scope and actual just stuff that you have to do. It's literally anime GTA with waifus and dating simulation and car racing and all kinds of stuff. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Okay, now I know I literally said that it's like anime waifu GTA, and I kind of mean it actually, to the point where you can literally break the law and get sent to jail and then break out of jail, or do your time in jail and then get released. There's literally so much that you can do in this game. It's insane. So now, just like any game that we cover, gameplay has to be the priority. In this game though, it's a little bit weird because there's so many different things to do. There's literally, you can buy cars and then do races. You can buy different buildings and apartments and stores, and you can manage them and create very cool looking houses. You can invite your waifus to live with you in your house and then interact with them in your swimming pool, for example. Of course, there's going to be combat and things like that too, but this game is much more than just the combat. And if you saw the recent live stream from the developers, you probably get that feel. This is not a combat focused game, whereas something like Wuthering Waves or Genshin Impact, I would say, is a story and combat game. This is an everything else plus combat game, if that makes sense. The story is quite fun, and I do enjoy the very funny comedic approach that they kind of take to storytelling, but also there's interesting moments where there's a little bit more spooky vibe going on. It's actually pretty fun, and I've enjoyed it so far. So that all being said, of course there is other stuff to do, and there's a lot of other stuff to do other than combat. However, I personally did enjoy the combat in this game. It's not very complex. It's definitely more simplified than something like Wuthering Waves. If you've been looking for something like that, it's not that complex and doesn't really have very much going on, but it does have like an element system plus a reaction system, but that does kind of make the team compositions a bit more limiting. Before we get into that though, I do want to add that the audio and visual effects for the abilities all felt really good, so the feedback when you press an ability feels great and it's very smooth, so it feels actually pretty fun and engaging while you're actually doing the combat segment. Again, it is simplified compared to other games, but that might not be a problem for everybody. For the team composition part, it is more restrictive than other games you might be used to. So games like Wuthering Waves, you can build your concerto meter to switch in and out on any character and switch, into another character of your choice. But in this game, it doesn't really work like that. There are characters with certain elements that just won't interact with each other that way. And so you do have to build your team with that in mind. You do have access to 4 characters, so you might be able to make like a 2-in-2 situation, or you can kind of do what I ended up doing, where you can kind of move from one element to the other element and then back and forth. So it kind of just depends on how you want to do team composition. It's just more restrictive and you have to have planned it out a little bit more. And again, I'm going to go over more of the team composition and elements in another video just because it's going to take a little bit of time. But it is something to keep in mind because you want to maybe plan out characters that you're interested in and who you might want to use your S rank guarantee on. If you guys are liking the video, leave the video a like down below. Comment down below if you guys have any questions. I played a bunch in the beta, so if you have any questions, I might be able to answer them. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff like this, and back to the video. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the gacha system because that's going to be how you get your characters. So in this game, you more or less are playing a board game, and then each quote-unquote summon is going to be a dice roll that you toss, and then when you move that many spaces, like you would in like Monopoly or like another board game, for example, you get the reward on that space. Now, these rewards can be anything from like 4-star characters, S-rank characters, weapons, gacha skins. There's all kinds of different rewards, including the ability to have your rolls refunded. So that is kind of a cool and unique thing to this game. I've never really seen that in another gacha game, so it's kind of a unique thing about it. And basically they took the whole idea of summoning and kind of gamified it to make it a little more interesting. Now ultimately this does end up being a net positive because there's no 50-50 for your S-rank characters. Now as you do summons towards getting a particular S rank character, you're also going to be earning pity towards getting the outfit for that character as well. On the board, you can get the S rank character. On any character slot, there is a chance of them going from a purple to an S rank. And then on the right hand side, there's actually a specific node where you just get the S rank. On the left hand side, there's actually a specific node where you just get the GATCHA skin outfit. But as I said, over time, as you do more pulls for a specific character, like the first character, I believe her name's Nonali, you'll be earning credit or pity towards getting her outfit in case you don't land on that specific spot. And this pity that you're building actually stays on the banner even when it goes away. So the next time that Nonali comes back around, you'll still have built up that pity towards getting that outfit. Over time, you can end up getting outfits too if that's what you're trying to get. Now, with the gacha system, of course, you're going to be getting duplicate characters, and this game has the very best, okay, the very best duplicate system I've ever seen in any gacha game, period. What they do is every duplicate that you get just lets you unlock another passive of your choice, and you are not locked into this. Let me repeat. You get to pick which passive you want, and you can change it at any time. This would be like getting Imeth in Wuthering Waves and being like, on my first duplicate, you know what? I don't really like her C1, her duplicate 1 passive. Instead, I want her duplicate 5 passive, and then just picking that one. This is a phenomenal system, and NTE deserves all the praise, and hopefully more companies will look into this type of system in the future, because it does feel like a lot of times they pretty much lock the good passives behind some garbage ones first. So usually like your duplicate 1, duplicate 2 are usually not that great. Sometimes they're okay, but the majority of the power is almost always locked behind duplicate 5. With this, the developers are forced into a way where they have to make all the passives more evenly balanced because you can just pick them on your own. But it does mean that a lot of the duplicate passives are either more interesting or just not very interesting at all, right? So it's going to be kind of a mesh of that. But overall, I do like this system, and I think it's the best we've ever seen. Overall, I think NTE has a chance to really surprise people with the amount of content that it has. It's not going to give you the same vibes that the previous games that you played probably have, and I think that's a really good thing. For some people, it's not going to be what they're looking for. I think that's really okay. If you're interested in NTE, definitely check it out. Let me know how you feel about it in the comments down below. Like I said, more videos on the channel coming soon, covering things like team compositions, who you might want to pick for your guaranteed S rank, for example, and just more content coming soon. So leave the video a like down below if you guys like the video. Comment down below if you guys have any questions or anything you want to talk about. I'm always happy to talk to you guys down there. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.